you install it, or when did you install it?
We installed it a couple of years ago. It's we saw. I think Anthony suggested it to us last year. We carried it for a while, never used it until the NFC Championship, and it's up every week, and just brought it out today.
What do you call it?
Flea flicker. Yep. This is a tough one. Toss 18 flea flicker.
As this week was going on, did you get the sense your team was locked in that this kind of performance was possibly coming tonight?
Yeah, I did. I was real excited about us this week. I know it was our biggest game so far this year, as far as nationally and just media-wise and the hype. And sometimes you get worried your team might get too up for stuff. And but just watching them all Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they were so locked in all week. They didn't make too big of a deal of this game. They seemed so ready to go, and kind of from a coaching perspective, just we didn't feel like we had to do much all week, but just coach them, show the film, put in a game plan, and our guys were ready.
Learn anything about your team, Kyle, this game that you haven't seen from the last 4 games?
I thought that was our best complete game with all 3 phases. I thought our defense was amazing today. Going against some real good players and a good offense there, and I knew that was going to be a challenge, and those guys were unbelievable. I thought it was their best game yet.
Brock's very even keel, but did you check in with Brock, knowing how big this game was and knowing your players were feeling it? Did you ever have to check in with him? Did you get a sense of him?
No, bro. That's what was so nice last year. Just going through all those experiences, going in the playoff games last year, and some games that we needed to get into the playoffs and get some home field games. So Brock's played in some big games, and he never seemed different ever in any of those, and it's continued this year.
How were you guys able to neutralize Parsons?
What's that?
How were you able to neutralize Parsons the way you guys did?
He's tough to do. You got to stay balanced. You got to mix things up. Thought we had some big plays where you didn't have to hold on to it too long. We had one where we did hold on to it. We took one big play down the field, and we ended up getting a sack on it when they brought a safety pressure. But I think we did as good as we could to keep him off balance.
Defensively, you get a feel for when Brock is kind of running hot, when he had that series there when he had the deep pass to you just over a linebacker, the play that was called back, and then he kept going with it. Did you sense that he was looking pretty good?
Yeah, I felt that way with him all day. So there wasn't a time that I didn't feel he was like that. You just got to be careful when you feel that way from beginning to end, that you don't just start calling too many passes. That's usually the challenge of a play caller, because you do too many, and eventually you're going to give them a chance to make a big play. But we felt if we can mix it in enough that he was pretty on, and we could handle their protections just by him getting rid of it, and he was fun to coach today.
This week that he felt like when he went back and watched the tape from the playoff game last year that he was rushed a little bit. He was hurrying himself up too much. Did you see that, and how much better was he in that regard tonight, just kind of calm him down?
Yeah, we did it a lot throughout the offseason, but last year that was probably his worst game. Not to be confused with bad, but just comparing it to all the others versus Dallas last year, and they stopped us in a number of big plays. They kept us out of the end zone, I think, till the first play of the fourth quarter. We were down there in the red zone. We had a couple chances and just missed. And just watching him today, I'll see the film later tonight, but didn't sense that at all. He was extremely poised when we got down there. He hit all the stuff right away, and didn't turn it over, most importantly.
Defensively, you guys have been pretty good, obviously, through 4 games. But there seemed to be a sense from some of the guys that, man, we can be better than this. We can get more takeaways. We can get more sacks. And did you get a sense of that during the week, too? And do you think that they were kind of fired up, that the defense on the other side was getting a lot of run?
Yeah, definitely. I think our defense has been unbelievable here for a while, and they've been unbelievable so far this year. But our guys definitely haven't been satisfied. They feel like we can get a lot better. Feel like we're going to get better throughout the year too, but today was pretty darn good. Felt the offense felt similar. We had a real good week last week, but we felt our whole team hadn't played a complete game yet, and it looked like that today.
Why include the flea flicker in this game? Is it just the caliber of the game, the way that the Cowboys play defense?
I think just percentage of things you're going to get, stuff like that.
What's the significance of this? I think everybody thinks the Eagles, you, and the Cowboys are the 3 best teams in the NFC. You win by 42 points, the most one-sided game in the history of this rivalry between these 2 teams. You dominated both sides of the ball, won the turnover battle. What's the significance, do you think, of what you did today?
It sounds awesome when you say all that stuff, but absolutely nothing. If we would have lost this game, we would have been 4-1, and now we're 5-0. it's exciting and all this is fun, but been in the NFL way too long. Been 5-0 and haven't made the playoffs before. All that stuff really doesn't matter. I mean, the way people talked about it during the week, we didn't see it that way. I told our team last night, whether we win or lose this game, I expect it to make us better. If we go out there and play like we're capable of.
All right, so supreme focus remains for San Francisco, who collect their largest ever margin of victory over the 49ers. A 32-point victory, 42-10 your final. Take into account that the Texas Rangers outscored the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday.